One of the best things to do, and this is where a lot of people get caught up, is that they want to do everything everywhere right now all at once. But this is one of the reasons I sort of pulled back on giving da'wah in Times Square. One thing I've learned is that I'm not right. That's one of my things I go by. I'm not right. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. No parent wants to have the janazah being read over their child. Imagine your mom. Your end has to have some value. Your end is what? They hit the other car so hard that their tire flew off. But the first thing I'm doing, I look over there, I peep into the car that they hit. Bro, there's a whole baby in the car, bro. There's children in the car. Just so you could get a nice little Instagram clip for your snap? For your snap?
And the craziest part is, all three cars, everyone's Muslim.
When Allah created the hellfire, He sent Jibreel alayhi salam to go check it out. Jibreel alayhi salam said that the heat of the hellfire was too much to bear. But he said, I was worried about something. What was he worried about?
How was the last 3 days here? I'm gonna act like we didn't spend the last 2-3 days together, but
It was great, man. It was a beautiful event yesterday that you guys did, and Thorncliffe really got shut down, bro. You shut down Thorncliffe, and beautiful community in Thorncliffe as well too. A lot of work that needs to get done over here, and it was nice. It was nice to see all the brothers come out together, and it was like a halal block party. I'll take that. It's good. It was good. Alhamdulillah.
now my neighbors are talking about it too. Like, I was actually coming down to come get you guys, and they stopped me and they're like, "You guys gotta keep doing this, and are you guys gonna do this more?" I'm like, "Yeah, we plan on going to KBW or Khalid bin Walid, at the end of September." She's like, "Oh, that's good, but stay in Thorncliffe."
She's not wrong. She's not wrong. One of the best things to do, and this is where a lot of people get caught up, is that they want to do everything everywhere right now all at once. And when you do things like that, you're actually unable to specialize in one department. What you need to do is you need to use Thorncliffe as your proof of concept and example. That you could go to one community, change it completely 180 degrees, right? Then you move on to the next community. Because if you do a little bit over here, a little bit over there, a little bit over there, no one's really getting the full message. So she's not wrong for that. But at the same time, you guys have your own plans, right? Like, you want to spread out and you want to go to KBW, right? You want to go Scarborough. I don't know. I'm just naming a bunch of places that I don't even know, right? Masha Aisha, Whitby, right? Whatever, right? Like, the point I'm trying to make is that the point I'm trying to make is, like, there's so many times that we want to do so many things, right? We want to do all these things, that there's nothing wrong with that. But this is one of the reasons I sort of pulled back on giving da'wah in Times Square. I not stopped it, because I still go there, but I stopped focusing on Times Square. I started focusing on my locality area, and it's been giving me a better just ROI in terms of relationship building with my community, them seeing the message of Islam. Because if you go to Times Square, bro, everyone's a tourist, and you'll give them a book and you'll have a nice conversation with them, and it makes a nice YouTube video, right? And it makes a nice little clip on Instagram and short and TikTok, and you got these cool lights in the back, right? And it's nice, right? They need da'wah too. Like, let's not undermine that. They need da'wah too. But, for me, I've preferred locality over hype areas, just because you're able to see that, because I see that same person going to the train every day now. So every day I'm there reminding them, hey, brother, is it today? You're going to take the Quran today? Is it today? Is it today? Until one day they're like, you know what, bro? You've been asking me all these 4 days. 5th day, he takes the Quran. You understand what I'm saying? You can't do that in Times Square. You never see them again. They're going to Spain or China or wherever they're going. You know what I mean? So locality wise, that's what I prefer it. So if let's suppose you did stick in Thorncliffe, right? It's good because you're now here. You're a pillar of the community. And then what happens is you build your army from here, and then you all start going to different areas, like a Jamaat,
Basically,
like
that's it. No, that's basically the attention, right? Because if you know, like brother Asim too, like Asim, Hamza, all these guys, they all originated from Thorncliffe, Flamo, and some of them, they moved out. But the thing is, where they moved out, because first it was basically Thorncliffe's link up at the beginning, and then it became Toronto's link up when they started branching out to other neighborhoods, because a lot of brothers started moving. So when they started moving, it's like, all right, I'm not just gonna sit here and do nothing for this community, bro. Asim got involved, Masjid Aisa, within like a week. Look at them now. It's guys like one of the committee members, as if, you know what I mean. And like, he's like, all right, so I'm here, I'm doing the link up, I'm gonna hold a link up here, and that's what it is. You are right, like regarding the if you're in the community, focus on the community, because if you're focusing on these little pockets, it's
Look, one thing I've learned is that I'm not right. That's one of my things I go by. I'm not right because there's different ways to do different things. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is what I think it's right. It doesn't mean that it is right. Um, the way, look at how Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to do it. He used to take some of the strongest companions in certain areas of fiqh, certain areas of Quran, and he would send them to be the amirs of those specific areas. So, like, there would be one Amir al Mu'mineen, right? But then there would be amirs of the small localities of those areas. So, that's another idea that you can have. You can have one person here who's in charge of Thorncliffe, and another person stationed somewhere else. They're in charge of that city, but it all reports to one giant. You get what I'm saying? We're strategizing here
That's
live
an
on a podcast. We're
that's
about to
an
take over Canada right now. You heard me? Yeah.
that's an amazing
Subhanallah,
strategy.
inshallah,
Honestly,
inshallah.
that's an amazing.
No, it's
strategy,
actually beautiful. That's actually beautiful. Because I mean that's what it is, right? Because even Masjid Aisha, Huzaifa, and then Mahmoud, and then where they're from, that's their ends, right? And they're part of TOU, right? And that that's actually a very good plan. Inshallah, I gotta look into that.
Yeah,
But
check it out, bro. It's all right.
inshallah. But yeah, so you landed on Friday.
Yeah.
First thing, straight to the masjid, man.
Straight
No
to the
no
masjid.
suitcases, no suitcases dropped off to the crib, nothing.
Yeah.
How was it, man? How's the flight? Everything? The city?
Alhamdulillah, bro. It was good because obviously you guys probably know this. A lot of people might not know this, but I'm a school teacher professionally, right? So that's why when brother asked him book the flight, I was like, hey, it has to be after this time because then I have to get off of work, so on and so forth, make my flight and everything.
So you never booked Friday off. You just right after work you
No.
came on the.
Came straight after.
Oh my God, subhanallah, that's crazy. I booked off work. I'm like, I'm gonna go pick up SQ, you know.
No.
Subhanallah,
You're
that's
looking for
crazy.
any reason to bunk off of work, huh? SQ's here. No.
TSB, you know, they got the-
No. I came straight from work and I went and I picked up my brother Nadal and we came straight over here, got on the flight, chilled out, and came here and straight to work. I mean, when Brother Asim was telling me about the plans, I told him specifically, I said, hey, listen, since I'm there, can you book like a few things for me to do in the process of it so that I can go there, just because like I know we're neighbors in the sense that we're really close to each other, but I don't always have the time to come over here. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has invited me to this land and allowed me to come here, let's make the most of it, right? Like let's try our best to give as much as we can, to back to our communities.
Inshallah, man, that's the goal. That's all it is. For those that don't know, you don't know us right now. It's the first episode. Allah decided you're gonna be with us, so that's crazy. But our introduction is gonna be probably next episode. But Yusuf's also the youth imam, so he's the youth coordinator of Dar Salam. So I don't know if you wanted.
I'm a little nervous. I take a little bit of time to open up, so I think I'll just try to add in whenever I feel a little more comfortable.
That's good. That's good, inshallah. But yeah, man. Yesterday though, man. Kind of on the way back home, get the call. One of the brothers crashed on the highway. Young guys.
Crash is an understatement. Crash is an understatement. There's a saying that goes, right? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes, right? Bro thoughts he's squeezed Benz. Bro thinks he's licensed. You're no license, respectfully speaking. You're not. You're trying to white line with 3 other people in the car. Do that on your own. You want to kill yourself? Do that on your own. There's 3 other people who has parents waiting for their children to come back home safely. If you want to be that dude, you're 15, 16 years old, you don't have what do they call it? K1? What is it called?
G1,
A G1 license. You didn't have a G1, bro?
What exactly happened for those who are not aware?
So basically, we're on our way to DT after eating. We went to Fuegos to go eat, and Asim gets the call that from one of the guys in the car that I just crashed.
Oh.
So right after the detour, that was me, SQ, Nadal, and Asim in the car.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, U-turn, let's go straight to there. We get there and we're stuck in traffic for 10 minutes because their crash lit up the
whole highway
lit
was
up.
blocked.
Wow.
All of it. One lane. You guys have like 4 or 5 lanes, right? All of them are shut except one lane, and there's just fire trucks, police officers, ambulance, and all their thing. Crash is an understatement, my brother. They're literally putting their lives on the line, and here's the problem with that: put your life on the line. But when you're behind the wheel doing dumb things, you're putting the other people's lives on the line in the car. But guess what? You jumped in the car with him, so you've given him the approval. So it's not his only fault. You encouraged him by even trusting him to go. Your parents did not give you permission to go with someone over here. Bro, no parent wants to bury their child. Like, no parent wants to have the janazah being read over their child. Imagine your mom seeing the fact, and you didn't even die as a martyr. You didn't die catching a bullet for Palestine. You didn't die standing up for your deen. You died trying to white line, bro. You died trying to do the dumb thing between going between two cars on the white line. That's how you died. Like, that's the most embarrassing way to go. That's the most embarrassing way to go. Like, imagine this, right? When a person dies, people don't realize these things. You know, alhamdulillah, we had that nice little link up at TLU, Thorncliffe Park, right? They ate some food, drank some water, just drank, you know, they had fun. When you're dead, and your muscles no longer contract, your bowel movements is the first thing that gets released. You will pee yourself. That's why when the ghusl is happening like this, people don't understand this. What's keeping your bowels inside your bowels is the fact that there's a muscle that keeps it tight, that doesn't allow you to just like poop everywhere and pee everywhere. There's a bladder, there's an abdomen. You just white line a car, potentially killing yourself, people, passengers, the other people on the road, inconvenience for everyone else over there. Think about this for a second. And now you die. Now you die. You didn't die in an honorable way, in an impeccable way. You didn't die in sujood. You didn't die reading Quran. You didn't die fighting for Palestine. You didn't die defending your neighborhood, defending your ummah, defending the Muslimin. You died trying to white line and be an idiot, trying to what? Cut up. What? Well, who you think you are? You're trying to record at the same time and try to cut up? You think, bro, who do you think you are? You're literally a lame, bro. You're a Gerber. You're a lame. You think you all that. You're dead, right? Guess what? They come to get you, pick you out the car. My brother, you've shat yourself. You've defecated on yourself. You've peed yourself. That's how your end is.
Did the brother pass away?
No,
No, no, no,
alhamdulillah. No. He's okay. But here's the reality. He could have. He could have.
Bro, the car was bad, bro. The
He
car was,
could've.
the front's gone.
He could have. Look, a person doesn't pass away because of how bad the crash is. That's not how a person. We've seen videos with the crashes there, but they didn't even have a scratch on them. You don't pass away because of how bad the accident was. You pass away because Allah had decreed that for you. And you put other people's lives on the line. Those idiots also put their lives on the line by even trusting you to be behind the wheel. Now your mom is reading janazah over you. Your dad is doing your ghusl. And now they're reading a janazah over your community. Oh, the brothers died. They went away. 15, 16 years old. Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi rajiun. All right, what's the next link up, fam? Where are we going, fam? That's it. You're done. There is no other. There isn't like, oh, you think they're going to celebrate you? They might wear a shirt with your face on it. What that going to get you? What is your end gonna actually be? Your end has to have some value. Your end is what? Trying to die in white line. And guess what? We get there. Choco blocked. Everything is done. We get there, bro. They hit the other car so hard that their tire flew off. Their back was cooked of the other car, not their own car, even though theirs was cooked too. But the first thing I'm doing, I look over there, I peep into the car that they hit. Bro, there's a whole baby in the car, bro. There's children in the car. Just so you could get a nice little Instagram clip for your snap. For your snap. You're about to kill a baby? And please don't sit here and tell me. Don't sit here and tell me. Oh, you know, Allah's Ghafurur Rahim, what their end is going to be. Stop. You are enabling them right now by even behaving in this way. Don't tell me like this is some honorable death. This is not an honorable death for you to die in the process of trying to cut up on the highway, bro. Just for a snap. So you could get what? 100 views on your snap, bro? Like, with all due respect, 100 views on your snap, for 200 views, for 50 extra views, you put your life, their life, and everyone's lives over there in danger, bro.
It's a bad deal. It's a bad deal. That's a real problem. Like when the youth, they don't have their priorities set straight. It's a big problem.
It is.
Yeah.
The thing, you know what's crazy? The one thing that I noticed that, like, obviously you spoke to him, like, he's obviously stressed out, tripping out for multiple reasons, you know, and inshallah, like, he learns from this. But one thing I was,
Inshallah.
and in a situation like this, and it's kind of odd to say it, but I was kind of happy to see this, is when I spoke to the other brother, because there's 3 cars that got hit, right? So there's basically what it is, he white lined, he hit one car, that car kind of got like scraped. But when he scraped that, he's like, he hit that car, so he swerved to the left, and that's the car that got totaled, basically, right? So the brother that got scraped, like, I went to him, spoke to him, because he's not coming out the car, right? The other family went like the ambulance, you know? But inshallah, they're good, but we don't know exactly, right? I wanted to go speak to him, and he's just like, look, man, like, First thing he's like, bro, if you can find this cover, his light, like something from the light broke. He's like, if you just find it, no insurance, nothing, just give it to me. I'll go on my way. Like, it's okay. I'm like, oh, brother, I can't find it. He's like, all right, look, like, you think like, oh, give me the money right now, things like that. The man just said, look, who are these kids? Are you the brothers? I'm like, no, we're just kind of like from the neighborhood, kind of like they're like mentors type of thing. He's like, bro, like word for word, he's like, yo, this kid doesn't like life. He's suicidal. This kid is suicidal. Like he kept saying suicidal, and this guy's like, bro, like, look at what he's doing, and he's trying to explain white lining. Um, Obviously he probably doesn't know how to explain it properly, but anyways, but the whole time he just kept asking about him. He's like, oh, please talk to him. He didn't bring up the money. He's like, talk to him, check if he's good. Like this, he can't keep this up. Like and just reiterating the fact that you need to spend time with him. And I'm like, bro, like I started smiling. It's kind of weird, like this type of situation where there's an accident. People are like, alhamdulillah, no one's hurt, but like this guy the whole time just saying like, you guys need to spend more time with him. Spend more time with him. That's why when I came to the car after, I'm like, yo, that brother, what a sick brother. And then after he's just like, look, take my contact, I'll go get it replaced and you can holler at me. I'm like, yeah, by all means, but alhamdulillah, And the craziest part is, all three cars, everyone's Muslim.
All three.
All three.
Oh wow.
Everyone in the car. So there's a hijabi family with their like father, daughters, and wife and whatnot. And then the other brother was the same thing. He has a big beard. And then there's obviously the kids. All kids, I think 16 too in the car. And inshallah, they learn from this. But it's just crazy, right? Like, we just did the TOU event, and right after that just happens, So it's
It's incredible, right? Because from that car, one of them is like complaining about a pain that they have, right? And I could see it on his face that this is not what you want. Yo, their parents did not send them out the house for this. They didn't do that. But it's their own fault, right? They trusted some kid behind the wheel because that's your boy. That's your own fault, right? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. This is the reality of life. And with all due respect to all of them together, this combination of friendship, and this is an example, we're using them as an example because it's like chemistry, right?
Yeah, that's one thing.
If you
I
have
just want to say that's one thing. I'm not to say like over there, but disrespecting them as individuals. Like what's wrong is wrong though.
no,
You made
it's
mistakes.
but this is the thing, right? Those who are actually soft and they have an ego, they're gonna feel disrespected. You're more than, because you're a weak man. You're still a boy. That's why you feel disrespected, because you can't take the advice as a man, because a man that puts it to the side because they're like, yo, he's speaking facts. A boy, they try to justify, they try to defend themselves. But no. But you see, I was doing that. It's him. He did this, and no. A man says, I shouldn't have gotten in a car with him. A man does that. A boy still says, nah, bro, he was driving. I told him not to do it. And no. A man says, I was wrong. I shouldn't even got in the car with him. That's what a man says. A boy will say, look at this unk. Look at this old head. This guy, bearded guy over here, man. Who does he think he's a? Nah, fam. Because you're a boy. You're a boy. And I understand. Boys will react this way. I'm not here to talk to boys. I'm here to talk to men. When you're ready to be a man, we'll talk. No problem. We'll talk. But you're a boy right now because you can't accept the fact that you did something wrong. You can't accept it. You have to humble yourself. If you've done something wrong, Akhi, you've done something wrong. Fix up. Do something better. But what I was surprised to see, and look, everyone handles stress differently. Yeah. I understand that. But one thing that I was surprised to see was that there was a lack of remorse on their face. The driver specifically. And it's really sad. I'm not saying that he wasn't remorseful. I'm saying there was a lack of remorse. Like, he doesn't understand the severity of the consequence of what could have happened and what just happened. Bro, there's a baby in the back. Like you don't care. Like, you just don't care. That uncle is saying he's suicidal. He probably is. He probably does have issues, and you do need to spend time with him. And he does need help, and you do need to talk to him. But the problem is that, does he want the help? I said this in my talk yesterday. You're not forced to be here. If you're here right now at the event or at the talk, you have come by your will. Okay, if it was for some free food, if it was for a haircut, that's up to you. But if you're here right now, you're listening to the talk, and you have come over here, you have come on your own will. If you don't like what we're saying, that's the door. It's wide open. When Jibreel alayhi salam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you know this, Sheikh, right? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Jibreel alayhi salam to when Allah created the hellfire, he sent Jibreel alayhi salam to go check it out. Go check it, right? Jibreel alayhi salam goes there and comes back. He says, Allah. It's like, an oven. When you have an oven and you're baking in your house, you open the oven, the heat, you don't have to be near the oven, but you feel the heat come out of it. Jibreel alayhi salam said that the heat of the hellfire was too much to bear. But he said, I was worried about something. What was he worried about? He says, Ya Allah, the road, the path to hellfire is so wide. It's like all these lanes that could get you there. I fear that everyone is going to go through that. It's so wide. The hellfire is so wide. There's a lane for pornography. There's a lane for zina. There's a lane for weed. There's a lane for vaping. There's a lane for music. There's a lane for this. There's a lane for haram relationship. There's a lane for drugs. There's a lane for, you name it. There's a lane. There's the highway to hell. That's what they call that song, right? The highway, bro. These things, yeah.
Take it in.
The
I
highway
heard
to
that saying
hell
for a long time.
This is they know our religion, my brother. They know the truth. This was a road. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed him the path. He said the highway to hell is wide. I'm afraid everyone will go there. I'm afraid. And it's beautified. That's the problem. It's beautified. You see this road to the hellfire, but you don't see it as a road to hellfire. You see it as a road to fun. It's fun. All right, keep having fun. It's okay. But what was it said about the paradise? It's thin. It's a very, very narrow road to go over there, filled with poverty, filled with difficulties, filled with challenges, filled with fasting, filled with hunger, filled with issues, filled with so many problems. I'm afraid that no one's going to end up getting there. You get what I'm saying? That's the design behind it. It's designed that way.
I'm glad you brought up the point that you didn't see remorse on the youth or youngsters' faces. How do you think we solve that issue? Because is it a mental issue? Is it an emotional maturity issue? What type of an issue is it? How do we tackle that issue? Because I think that the thing you saw, the thing you observed, it's definitely, I think, like many youngsters share. I think I share that observation. I think I noticed amongst youngsters, like in this neighborhood, in many underserved or underprivileged neighborhoods, we see youth who are involved in crimes, and they are ruining their lives, ruining their futures, ruining their families' futures, maybe even distorting the image that of their religion, because they may come off as a Muslim name, or they may look Muslim, and they're ruining their own reputation and others. But despite being so, I don't maybe bad, if like I'm not trying to judge them, but like doing these things, they don't feel anything. So how do we tackle that issue? What's the problem? How do we do that?
That's a very good question you're asking, my brother. First, you have to remember something, that these types of issues of emotional maturity and trauma, it all stems from something. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when you look at a baby, they're so pure, they're so innocent, they're so beautiful, right? There's a love that you have for them. Any baby. It's not about, all babies are Muslim, right? So there's a love, and there's a natural fitrah that they all have,
The innocence.
Right? The innocence. They become this way. So what we need to ask ourselves is, what has happened from the beginning to where they are now? Because there's a story there that's going under noticed and under observed, right? So it comes from a lot of trauma. Like, for example, now, and look, and this, once again, this is not to pick on this brother. This person, with all due respect, inshallah, they change their ways, right? Because they're going to end up seeing this. Inshallah, they change their way. And inshallah, this story and their event inspires millions of other children to change their way. So you receive the sadaqah jariyah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so merciful. He could change a sin into a sadaqah. Think about this. A sin to a sadaqah like this.
If I can just add the Quranic verse.
Alhamdulillah, please.
فَأُولَٰئِكَ يُبَدِّلُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِهِمْ حَسَنَاتٍ. The people who make mistakes, and then after that they renew their iman and they do good deeds, Allah changes their sayyi'at, their bad deeds, with good deeds. So let alone forgiving, it's like those sins will count as good deeds.
Allahu Akbar. Wow. So look, just from your sin, just from your mistake, so many people got turned from. That's why people are like, yo, SQ, you got tattoos and all that. Well, look, from my sin, how much has turned away, how many people have turned away from, because Allah can take a sin and turn it into a sadaqah for you. So we're on the way, and they have to call the person who's his family member and all that, and they're telling what's happening. And the first response is, he did what? Yo, I'm a beat his face. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to whip him. I'm going to do this and that. Well, in Urdu, you have the word deed. There's a word that you call deed. A deed, meaning you become stubborn. After so many beatings, it doesn't even affect you anymore. You actually learn how to eat them. You eat them.
Speaking from experience, I'll tell you that
You become
beatings don't
deed.
work.
It doesn't work anymore, right? Because there's a certain age that it does. It should never, because that's never been the sunnah of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They become numb to it, right? So from one perspective, it's just like maybe you don't feel any remorse because he knows how the formula goes. I know how the story goes. I'm gonna get home. My dad's gonna yell at me. He might take off his belt. He might beat at me. My mom's gonna stop him. They're not gonna talk to me. My mom's gonna feed me. This and that. I'm back out on the streets. What's up? Nothing happened, right? So sometimes you've played out the story, the worst case scenario in your mind so many times that you become numb to it. It doesn't even matter. You're so used to the beatings that you get at home, the yelling, the shaming, the psychological abuse that you happen, that you've become this way, right? You've become this way because at home, you're not empowered. You're not the man of the house, right? You're not the man, but you're a man of the streets, so that, you're not even really that guy, but amongst your 3 loser friends, you are. Right? You see, there's a hierarchy of things, right? Yeah, you're cool over here in Thorncliffe. But if you go to the real Toronto, you're literally a nobody. In a bigger city, you're a small fish in a pond, right? But over here, you feel like a shark in the water. You're not. You're literally a little guppy. If you come to New York, bro, you're a nobody. Wallahi, they're the top of the gangsters, right? Go to Chicago, bro. You are literally a nobody, bro. If you think you're a thug, go test it out someplace over there. They'll sun you. You really want to see how you are? Go to Rikers Island, bro. Go upstate into the prison. They will really put you in your place to show you how street you really are. They'll check you. They'll check you. If you want to say you're this, you're this, you're that, you're this, you GD, whatever, they will test you. They will check your real gangster where it needs to be done. So yeah, you're a big fish in a small pond here, right? Because you're not a man of your own house. So it starts at home. It starts with parenting. It starts with so many things. So it's a loaded question you're asking me. It requires a lot of unpacking, right? Because I don't blame them, but at the same time, we have to hold you accountable. Because in Islam, it's not the system where, you're an infant, then you're a toddler, and then you're a preteen, then you're a tween, then you're a teen, and then you are adulthood. And it doesn't work that way. It is boy, man. Once you hit puberty, man, Allah will now hold you accountable. You hit puberty, you're a man now, right? That is it. There is no teen. Oh, he's a teen. So, a teen. Chota hai, bacha hai, bacha. He's not a bacha, bro. You're a man. We need to really get people on board. You're not a boy anymore. You're a man. Whether you feel like it or not, you are a man. Islamically, you're a man. It's time to treat them like men. That's the problem. You have to treat them like men. And men receive consequences. Men receive consequences. And a man eats the consequence. They take the consequence. They look for the consequence because you know what? This is my manhood. This is a part of my story to graduate to the next level. So we need to stop babying these children, especially speaking to the people of Thorncliffe yesterday, the brothers. You want to act up, you want to act tough and thuggish and gangsterish. All right, we're going to speak to you in that way, and you're going to receive the consequences of that way. But it's no more, mollycoddling. No. It's none of that, bro. You're a man. You're a man. Allah will hold you accountable as a man. As an adult, you're an adult, right? So, like I said, it's a loaded question. There's a lot to do, and I know we're running out of time for this podcast either way. But I appreciate the time for being here.
Of course, man. Inshallah. I know it's the brothers. We have to go to Markham Masjid, inshallah. So now it kind of ends like we ended off with just giving it to the kid. I was gonna say, yo, wallahi, we love you for the sake of Allah, bro. If you're watching, and obviously SQ loves you too. He met you yesterday. Give you a nice little talk, not even just him, all of us. And I'm not gonna lie, it's a reflection on us too. It's kind of goes back to trying to link up what we're trying to do. Because why did we start this? Is because as older brothers, we do something for them too. So wallahi, even though that happened, I felt like a waste man because I'm like, I should have been there, should have spent more time on it, so that mistake should have happened.
But I don't mean to cut you off. You said something really interesting there. That as the traffic is stopping, everyone rubbernecks. They look. Who is that? What do they see? A guy with a kafia, a guy with a topi, bearded men over here. Oh, these damn Muslims over here. Just get the hell out of our country already, right? You are a brand ambassador of Islam. And anyone would understand this. There's no disrespect to that kid. If you're still watching right now, may Allah bless you and reward you. I love you for the sake of Allah. I'm saying this because I love you. If I didn't love you, I'd be like, yo, bro. I'd stay quiet. If I didn't love you, if I didn't care about damn, bro, next time. If I didn't love you, right? Because if your boys are really your boys, they'll be like, yo, listen, bro, I think you need to, listen, bro, like respect, fam, Crody, listen, you need to stop, right? If they're really your friend, Tutu's your word, broski. You need to stop, broski. Like, if they were really your boys, they would stop you, right? I love you for the sake of Allah. I'm a big bro. That's all. I'm big bro. I love you for the sake of Allah. That's why I'm telling you this. Otherwise, if I didn't care, I'm out to New York, bro. Deuces, bro. Go white line, go red line, do whatever line you want. Kill yourself. It don't make a difference to me. I'm here because I love you for the sake of Allah.
And you know what's crazy? The fact that you stayed. The fact that like not to get at anyone else that would come, but yo, you have a guest coming from New York thing, and this guy just stayed with us to the scene till like, and right when they left, 5 minutes later, that everyone else left.
You know
And
why?
you stayed, so
Because the
that shows
real
respect.
ones are always there.
SubhanAllah.
If we didn't care about you, my man, we wouldn't have been there. Why is it that when we're in trouble, we call the person we could rely on the most? Who did you call? That kid called
Asim.
you
Asim.
guys. He called Asim. Why? Because he knew he's the only one he can call. Right? Where were all your boys? I know you guys are so popular. You guys got Snap. But you know what? When the going gets tough, not everyone picks up your phone calls, do they? Nobody wants to be affiliated with you. Right? What's the verse? Well, on the day of judgment, people who were best of friends, they'll be enemies on that day.
الأخلاء يومئذ بعضهم لبعض عدو إلا المتقين. Close friends on that day will be enemies, except for those who are God-fearing.
There we go. So ask yourself, do you have someone in your contact right now that can just really hold you down and be there for you when the times get tough? If not, you need to update your contact list. Change your number and only give it to those who you can trust.
So we'll wrap it up here, guys. Jazakallah once again, SQ for coming out, man.
Yo, shout out to Auntie. Shout out to mashallah, awesome tea, awesome food. Shout out to all you guys. W podcast setup as well. And it was Auntie who painted these things too. So shout out to Auntie. Mashallah. No. You was asleep. You were saying you was asleep. So shout out to Auntie. Shout out to all you guys. And may Allah put barakah in this podcast. I'm looking forward to seeing more episodes from you guys.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.